Joining us this morning is Kelly Clark, Marketing and Communications Specialist with Titusville Area Hospital. Hi, Kelly. How are you?
Hi, Luke. I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you.
Well, busy time up at the hospital?
A really busy time. Yeah, we have a lot of great things happening, especially in the community. We were just at Oil Fest.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was a good time. We had a table set up for Titusville Area Hospital. So thank you to everyone that stopped by our table, got some information, got some handouts. We appreciate you coming by and talking to our staff. We like to get out there, and I always have a lot of volunteers that like to go and sit at the table and talk to the public. So it's a good time.
What's the mindset going into an event like that? I mean, how do you prepare? What is it? What information do we want to present to the public?
Definitely. We try to figure out what services maybe the public could benefit from, maybe some new services or services that we don't talk about a lot, especially going back to school. Had a lot of information about physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy. That involves a lot of kiddos in the area that maybe need a jump start just to get back into school.
I think I asked you this last time, maybe. I know there's probably what the hospital views as the next thing we want to do. Mm-hmm. Does that match up with what you hear from the community?
Yes, absolutely. And especially our doctors are the ones that are seeing a lot of those patients, and they voice a lot of needs in the meetings, our medical staff meetings that we have. Talk about what patients are asking for and what services that they're traveling outside of the area for.
Oh, okay.
So that's what we focus on a lot is, if they're having a hard time referring patients to the services they need, definitely try and bring those services closer to home.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And just some of the guests that you've brought in the past, number of years, they've been phenomenal. So
yeah,
that's exciting.
Yes. Hopefully we'll have some guests here coming up. We'll be having Therapy Services Week in September, so I'd like to bring in some members of the physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech. We'll see if we can get some guests lined up. Those are some services.
Well, those are just for me, but what about for everybody else?
Right? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we'll get you all therapied up.
Thank you. It's kind of that fun time of year, or fun month at least, because you got fairs and festivals and all that stuff going on. You spent a little time at the Venango County Fair. You mentioned being at Oil Festival.
Yes.
Then you got the Crawford County Fair.
And we have Crawford County Fair coming up. Yeah. We're going to be there quite a few days. We have the Titusville Chamber of Commerce supports and sponsors a Titusville Day there. It'll be at the fair office on Monday. So we will be there for Titusville Day at the fair office with a table set up. Lots of some other great nonprofits in the area will be there. And then the rest of the week, we will be in the Meadville Medical Center building. They'll have a whole building set up. They're offering blood pressure checks. They'll have a dermatologist there doing skin checks. They'll be handing out tons of information. WIC will be there, family planning, a lot of different organizations all in one building. So you can stop by. Penny will be there offering some information about health insurance. And we'll be there. We'll be having a couple doctors come over, and we have the orthopedic day is on Wednesday. We have Meet the Provider Day on Friday. So just a lot of different things happening. I don't know how we're fitting it all in one building, but...
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
There's a number of things we could talk about just within that, but that's fantastic. So go over and visit.
Yeah, definitely go and visit. They're going to have a ton of information, a ton of handouts, and there'll be a lot of different providers there and healthcare staff that you can ask a lot of questions.
Sorry, I didn't pull this up, but look at that. I mean, that's a lot of content
right
there.
Yes, definitely. And I believe that schedule is on the Meadville website.
Okay.
And on their Facebook page. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Busy.
I'm going to try and put it on our Facebook page as well today, just to get that information out so people can kind of pick and choose what days they're going, if any of that interests them. So there's always lots of things going on at the Crawford County Fair. It's a really large fair.
It is. Great time, and it's good to see such a presence there. There's so many options just to go and have a conversation. And,
right.
I guess really the hope is no matter, I mean, if you're at Oil Fest or the fair, somebody's taking information and going, okay, I should probably call and make an appointment, see about
Yeah.
this
Right.
or that, whatever it is.
Right, and just letting the public be aware of, like I said, the services that we offer. You might not know. They even have the dental facility coming to the fair just to hand out information and talk to the public. And a lot of folks may not know that service is available there.
That's wonderful.
So,
All
yeah,
right.
definitely good.
So go and say hi.
Yes, go and say hi. Stop by.
Crawford Gives.
Crawford Gives. Yes, that's coming very quickly as well. That starts on the 27th and goes for 3 days. It is a large fundraising event that the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation puts on. They put a lot of effort into it. They have a lot of nonprofits that are part of it. You can go online. You can send a check. Lots of organizations that you can support, ours being one of them. If you go online, you can find the Titusville Area Hospital Foundation, and you can read about everything that we are doing with that money. Currently, we are raising money for the oncology department renovation, and I know that we have talked about it before, but for anyone that hasn't heard what we're doing, we are renovating a new space for our oncology department. That's a really large project, so it's definitely a great cause.
Is there, not to put you on the spot, so I would assume there's sort of a master plan of like where things, you'd like to see things up at the hospital, like first floor we have this, second floor is this. I mean, is things kind of mapped out like that? Oh, if we're going to do a project like this is where we can do it?
Right, yes. Well, now that we're adding so many services, and we've added a lot of renovations and need more space, the more services we add. So we kind of have to pick and choose where we're going to have enough space to add this. So currently, the oncology department is on the first floor. So you have to go from the ground floor to the first floor to get to that department. So we are moving it to the ground floor, which will be easier access for those
Wow.
patients to get in and out, and easier for them to find it, and a lot more space. So it's going to be really great once it's done. Fresh new space, and a lot larger. We'll be able to facilitate more care. We'll have more exam rooms, more IV setups. So yes, it's very exciting.
How important is it, and maybe it's part of it, when you're renovating a space to take that opportunity to upgrade the technology or the equipment that's used?
Yes, and that definitely plays into it as well. When we plan for the budget, think about all the lighting, the furniture, the equipment. We don't want to bring in a whole new area and use outdated equipment. So that definitely is part of the budget that we bring in when we're planning a big renovation, like when we did the ER.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, everything that came in was new, bright, state of the art. So it's definitely going to be the same for our oncology department.
But that translates into, in terms of time, what that can do to save time for a patient or for the
Right.
doctor and the patient.
Right. And planning out those spaces that are, easy access for patients, doctors, nurses to, get the most effective care to the patient as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So a lot of, when you're having these conversations, it's not just, okay, we're just going to renovate the space. There has to be a lot of thought that goes into how do we actually design the space? What equipment? What's out there? What's the
Right.
cost? All that stuff.
Right, definitely. There's a lot of different players involved in that, from architects to, our maintenance team. They're really great. They work with all the architects, and they get a lot of the things ready in-house, so we don't have to bid that part of it out. They've been working behind the scenes for quite a while, just getting the space ready for the architects to come in and for the contractors to come in. So
Who kind of says, hey, there's this machine out there that does this. I think we should have it, or we should incorporate this into all the rooms, or here's the latest. I mean, is it the doctors that do that research? Is it who comes to you and says this is
what we want?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of that is the collective. some of the doctors, the departments, I know when we were redoing the CT scanner, the beds, a lot of that is the nurses and the techs that are using that equipment. They know exactly what would make their lives easier, patients' lives easier. When we were looking at the hospital beds, they said, we want a bed that you can weigh the patient. So our beds came with, you just push a button and it weighs the patient for you, which is really important. Are they losing weight? Are they retaining fluid? Things like that, instead of pulling that patient out of bed, weighing them, putting them back in bed. So things like that make it so much more efficient. So it's definitely...
I know some people that if they had that at home, they wouldn't get out of bed if they knew.
Right? Yeah, maybe I need that.
Yeah. But I just, I get trade magazines, right, with wonderful equipment. That would be nice to buy all of it. But I didn't, just you get a magazine and go, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, yes. And if you were to plan to redo your studio, you would be able to think of so many different things that would make your life easier. And that's really the great part of renovating these spaces, is they already have a space that's, not that great. That's why we're renovating it. So they know exactly what they're going to need to make their lives easier, make patients' lives easier, and especially the doctors. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, Crawford Gives, getting back to that, here's an opportunity again for the public to help out with such an important issue. And again, I think that between the golf outing and all these the community outreach projects that the hospital's involved in, I think the community really loves to support their local hospital.
They do. We have a lot of donors that give every year to us. We send a lot of letters. The golf outing, one of them, one of the fundraisers that we do, that we have support yearly from a lot of the same folks. Same way with Crawford Gives. We do this every year for different reasons. Different fundraisers, but we usually have a really great community support for those fundraising efforts. So it's really great. I have people stop me in the hall and say, "Hey, can I just write you a check? Can I?" I'm like, "Yeah, come on down to my office."
And she write one for the hospital too.
Yeah, right.
You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream Television and on Armstrong's Neighborhood Channel, and listening to it on the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network. Kelly Clark with us here this morning, Marketing and Communications Specialist with the Titusville Area Hospital. So it's been a busy summer, and it feels like the golf outing was just the other day.
I know.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. It was back in May.
Yeah. I would assume you're still at least once a week mentioning or hearing about the golf outing.
Yes. We have got so much great feedback from our golf outing this year. A lot of people came out. We had a ton of teams. We had a ton of support, and everyone had a great time. Everyone said that it was really well organized, and still have people emailing me and letting me know, thanks for having us. We really enjoyed ourselves. So it was a really great event. We're still all talking about it.
When do you officially begin thinking or actually writing down, okay, golf outing, now we're beginning to plan?
Yeah, I think it's the day after the golf outing.
Okay.
No, we talk a lot about things that we'd like to change, things we might do different next year, make some notes, what went well, what didn't get used maybe.
Save the date cards. When do those go out?
Those go out in January.
I thought January.
So we already have our date for next year. I can't think of what it is off the top of my head, but
I know a ton of people that smile because January, it just feels like you're going to the post office. It's snowing out, and gloomy, and you pull that out and you go, golf, yes, outdoors, yes.
We want to do that. Yeah, so we send those out in January. We send our letters out in January, just to get people thinking about it. And a lot of those dates do fill up pretty quickly. So we like to get our save the dates out there. So So you can definitely plan to be there if you want to be.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Lunch and Learns. That's something that's also been very popular for the hospital.
Yeah, we just had one with Dr. Gates. I actually had to move the room to a different room so I could accommodate some more folks. So they've been going really well. He's been talking about arthritis, knee replacements. His next one, we haven't planned a date yet. It will definitely be being released soon, but he's going to talk about rotator cuff injuries and rotator cuff surgery.
Wow.
So that's going to be something new. They have been doing really well. We've also had Amelia Finneray. She is our dietitian at the hospital. She's been doing some lunch and learns about diabetes and sugar, which have been really well attended as well. So thanks to everyone that's been coming out and listening to our speakers. They appreciate you coming out.
Great information. I think the hardest thing would be just saying no to the sugar.
Yes. Yeah.
No.
Say no. Yeah, I've been spending a lot of time at fairs, and I can tell you that is some good food.
Yeah,
I
see,
know.
and that goes right into the Halloween season, and then Halloween into Thanksgiving.
I know.
This is a horrible time.
I thought I was going to have a break in between, but Indian Festival in Titusville is this weekend.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
I'm like, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Yeah, a lot of great festivals happening.
But I'm sure that's a great resource, though. With all these things out there, there are ways to balance life, right?
Yeah, and that was most of what she talked about. It wasn't like, and now we're going to eat salad for the rest of our lives. It was a lot about reading labels, a lot about, if you're going to eat sugar, what to eat it with. It was really helpful things, like, okay, so we're at a picnic. This is what you should put on your plate. And it wasn't about avoiding it. It was about managing it. And that's what she talks most about is managing those sugar levels and managing your diabetes, not cutting it out, not, living this sugar-free life for the rest of your life and not indulging. But it was just a lot about balancing.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, I'll tell you, they've been very popular, and that's great. Dr. Gates seems to really enjoy doing them.
I know. Yeah, he's lovely. He will be at the Crawford County Fair. I think he's coming on Wednesday.
Oh, good.
And that's the Orthopedic Associates in Meadville are going to be there, so he'll be there that day.
Live demonstrations?
Sure. Yeah, we're going to see if we can pop out a knee surgery or something.
Yeah, that's good. But no, again, there's great opportunity to go meet him, meet others, get some great information.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of folks there.
Not sure, but there's a lot going on with COVID news, booster shots this fall, things like that.
Yeah.
Should they just contact their doctor if they have questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There is a lot of information that's happening right now. And definitely I would talk to your doctor if you're looking to update your booster or anything like that. We used to have clinics every Wednesday. We are not having them anymore, but we definitely have those resources available, and your doctor would have the most up-to-date information because that information changes a lot. And when it used to be, the only news that was out there, and now, it's not as readily, it's very readily available, but not as the topic of the day as it used to be. So, that information changed a lot, and your doctor definitely have all the up-to-date information for you.
Well, you're going to start seeing signs for like the flu shot, and you're just inundated with the shingles and all this other stuff. So, with anything, as you've always said, contact your doctor, schedule an appointment. You should be seeing your doctor. Right,
for sure. Yes, it's a really, really great time, especially this time of year. Everyone's going to be going back to school. All these people are going to be starting sports, doing sports physicals, things like that. So, yeah, it's a great time to get back in your doctor routine.
Yeah, it's kind of, we were just talking about that with the chamber directors, just that change of, I say season, but that back to school period kind of ushers in that fall and new season, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And I think, everyone is so busy during the summer and they're kind of off their routine. I know we are. We're like feral. We've been what's bedtime? So, getting back into that routine and back into your appointments and I think it's definitely a time for that.
Is there still a struggle for those who maybe haven't been to the doctor in a couple years or since prior to COVID?
And I think, just getting out of that habit, you would go to the doctor, you would have your appointment already made for your next well visit. And I just think those fell to the wayside, and a lot of folks kind of got in the habit of not going. They don't have the appointment scheduled, and it's I'll call next week or I'll call tomorrow, and then you wait too long until something's really wrong, and not having that maintenance. So, yeah, definitely give your doctor a call. Get back on your schedule and your routine of visiting your doctor.
Real quick, something we haven't talked about in a little while, Titusville Express Pharmacy.
Yes, Express Pharmacy. So they are right next to the Express Care here in Titusville. They're offering anyone that transfers a prescription $5 off coupon for anything in the store.
Wow.
So if you're looking for a new pharmacy, especially since the medicine shop has closed, you can transfer your scripts to the Titusville Express Pharmacy. They would love to have you. They're a really great group. I know we've had Brittany on here before. They are over the top nice and very helpful when you go in.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, Kelly, a lot going on.
A lot going on.
Go visit the fair and stop by and say hi to everybody.
Yeah, have some fair food.
Oh, that's right.
I
All right.
know.
So if folks have questions, they want to donate.
Yes, you can give my office a call. My direct line is 814-827-1060. I can tell you anything you need to know about the Crawford Gives, and you can also go online to their website.
Good to see you.